Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, but my spiritual master, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, accepted me as his disciple in April of 1974, and he gave me my second birth, and I was reborn and given the name Nirantara Dasa. And as I am his disciple, it is my duty, it is my dharma to repeat the message that he has taught me. We sing every morning, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chite Te Koriya Aikya Arna Koriho Mane Ash. I have no desire. I just want to hear the words coming from the lotus mouth of my spiritual master. And that is all I need in my life. Back in 1975, at that time I was 25 years old. I was not married. And I attended a Sunday lecture of my spiritual master in Atlanta, Georgia. And after his lecture, he asked for questions. And so I said to myself, this may be my only opportunity. So I raised my hand, I was acknowledged, and I asked Srila Prabhupada, what pleases you the most? And his response was, if you love Krishna. So that is the direct instruction I got from my spiritual master, that this life I am giving to him and to Krishna, and following his instructions, I am living my life developing my dormant love for Krishna. This word dormant is taught by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, meaning every soul, every living soul has within that soul love of Godhead as potentiality. There is free will, but the dormant propensity or natural propensity for loving Krishna is there in every soul, human, non-human. If it's a living soul, by very constitution, love of Godhead is there. The job of the spiritual master is to invoke, to enliven, to inspire, to enthuse, to spark that flame of love of Godhead. The spiritual master does that by simply repeating the message of Krishna. The message of Krishna is also known as Krishna Katha. There are two kinds of Krishna Katha. For instance, Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is directly speaking. That is one kind of Krishna Katha. Then we have Srimad Bhagavatam and other Vedic scriptures where Krishna is described by others, by his devotees. The Srimad Bhagavatam is full of descriptions of devotees talking and describing and glorifying Krishna. Therefore, Krishna has Namna Makari Bahuda Nijya Sarva Shakti. Krishna has unlimited names. So one of those names, Uttama Shloka. This word Uttama Shloka is two, Uttam Shloka. Shloka means verse or words, and Uttam, that which is transcendental, that which is topmost, that which is the best. So Uttama Shloka means that person who is always described in the choicest of language, with the topmost kinds of descriptions. That is the fame of God. There is a verse was composed by the father of Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva is the father of all the Vedic scriptures. Krishna and Vyasadeva is sometimes called Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas because he's an empowered incarnation of Krishna. So this Vyasadeva, his service to Krishna was to compile the Vedic scriptures. He took the one Veda and edited it and divided it into four. So now we have Rik, Yajur, Sama, Atharva Veda. Originally it was one, but Vyasadeva divided it into four. Vyasadeva also compiled the 108 Upanishads, which deal with transcendence. Vyasadeva also compiled the various Puranas, and he also compiled the Mahabharata. And his most scholarly work is the Vedanta Sutra or Brahma Sutra or Vyasa Sutras, which is a delineation of Veda Anta, the end of knowledge. Where does knowledge end? And he wrote it in the form of codes. And then Vyasadeva's final masterpiece, composed on the order of his guru. Yes, even though Vyasadeva is Bhagavan, as it is described in Bhagavatam, Bhagavan Rishi. He is Rishi, God in the form of a Rishi, yet he has a guru. Narada Muni Bhajaya Vina Radhika Ramana Name. Narada Muni is the direct disciple of Lord Krishna. He has a Veena, stringed instrument, which was given to him by Krishna. So Narada instructed Vyas, you have done all these Vedic scriptures, which I just delineated, but the reason why you are still not satisfied in your heart is that you have not fully, properly described Krishna. Now you go out and now you write your final masterpiece, Srimad Bhagavatam. And it will be the natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra by the very same author yourself, Vyasadeva. But in this Srimad Bhagavatam, I want you to put Krishna in his proper position as the topmost Purna Bhagavan, the ultimate Bhagavan. As Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Mattak Parataram Nanyat. There is no God, there is no truth superior to me. That is what Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita. Mattak parataram na anyat. No truth superior to me. So Vyasadev's father was Parashara Muni. You have heard about Parashara Muni in the beginning section of the Mahabharata. So this Parashara Muni has composed one shloka which defines what we mean by this word God. Because if I was to go out on the street and ask 100 people, what is the meaning of God? We'll get 100 different answers. So, this word God is nicely defined by Vyasadev's father in the following shloka. Aishvarasya samagrasya viryasya yashasa sriya jnana vairagya yoschaiva shanang bhaga itingana. So the word samagrasya. Samagrasya means equally. The Godhead, God, is that unique person who has these specific opulences, has them unlimitedly, simultaneously. So if anybody says to you, this person is God or I am God, then you can ask them, okay, do you have these 6 opulences unlimitedly, simultaneously? For instance, do you have Aishvarya, opulence, wealth, money, gold, any wealth? Do you have unlimited wealth? Unlimited? And then virya. Do you have unlimited power? Do you have that? Yasha. Are you famous throughout the 3 worlds and in the spiritual world? Shriya. Do you possess unlimited beauty, ever expanding? Or are you getting older and older with more wrinkles? No, nobody. But Krishna, his beauty is ever increasing. Sometimes there is a competition between Radha and Krishna. Because not to be outdone, Radha is actually all beautiful, like Krishna. And when Krishna sees Radha, Radha's beauty increases. And Radha sees Krishna becoming, or when Krishna sees Radha becoming more beautiful, he increases his beauty. Then she, and then competition never ends. Unlimited beauty. No Botox. No. Ever youthful. And then jnana. Do you have unlimited knowledge? Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I know past, I know present, I know the future. You would love to know the future, wouldn't you, to make an investment in the stock market tomorrow? But it's gambling. You don't know, right? Just ask some of the crypto investors. Yes. So, Krishna has unlimited wealth. And then this one, vairagya, detachment. Do you have unlimited detachment? For instance, Ram Chandra Bhagavan, he could have nullified his father's order and he could have insisted, I must be the king, after all I am God. No. Ram was detached. My father has ordered, I will go to the forest. That's called detachment. Or Krishna himself, the night of the rasa dance, Krishna was dancing with the gopis, who are the quintessence of beauty, for they are all different expansions of various qualities of Radharani. All the gopis represent different aspects of Radharani. And Krishna was dancing with the gopis, but then right in the middle, Krishna disappeared, left. He was detached. And he was also detached from Radha. When Radha said, "Oh Krishna, I am too tired from walking in this forest. If you want to continue, you will have to carry me." And Krishna said, "Yes, just get on my shoulder." And as soon as Radha tried to get on Krishna's shoulder, Krishna disappeared. Detached, completely detached. Unlike Ravana. Ravana was not detached. Ravana is the opposite of Vairagya. Ravana, so many times Ravana was advised, give up this attachment to Sita. You are losing everything. So many well-wishers, so many people tried to advise Ravana to give up, but he could not. He was too attached. He had no Vairagya. So these are the 6 opulences of Krishna. He has them simultaneously to an unlimited degree. Therefore, there is another Sanskrit word, asammaurdva. Asammaurdva means no one is equal to, no one is greater than. Same thing I just quoted from Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, mattak parataram nanyat. Same meaning. No one is equal to Krishna, and nobody is superior. So, on this topic of my spiritual master instructing me to love Krishna, I found some nice words from Srila Prabhupada, and these words will help us to appreciate that his instruction for me to love Krishna is quite appropriate. Here is what Prabhupada wrote as an preface to his book, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada says, since Krishna is all attractive, one should know that all of one's desires should be focused on Krishna. As such, if we concentrate our loving propensities upon Krishna only, then immediately universal love, unity, and tranquility will be automatically realized. As Narada Muni informed the Pracheta sons of King Prachinabarhi, Yatha taror mula nisechanena tripyanti tatskanda bhujo pashaka prano paharach chayathendriyanam tataiva savarhanam achyuteja. When one waters the root of a tree, one automatically waters the branches, twigs, leaves, and flowers. When one supplies food to the stomach through the mouth, one satisfies all the various parts of the body. So Prabhupada now continues. The art of focusing one's attention on the Supreme and giving one's love to him is called Krishna Consciousness. And that was the name of Prabhupada's movement, the Krishna Consciousness movement, the international. Just like we have this United Nations, not so united. But that building is there in New York, I have seen. The idea is there, an attempt to keep things at check. So Prabhupada created an international society for Krishna consciousness. You can travel to all major cities of the world. You can find Krishna. He's there. The whole world is very eager to satisfy the dormant propensity of love for others. The various invented methods like socialism, communism, altruism, humanitarianism, nationalism, and I've now added two more, fascism, Trumpism, along with whatever ism may be manufactured for the peace and prosperity of the world, Prabhupada says, are all useless and frustrating because of our gross ignorance of the art of loving Krishna. Generally, people think that by advancing the cause of moral principles and religious rights, they will be happy. Others think that happiness can be achieved simply by economic development. And others think that simply by sense gratification they will be happy. But the real fact is that people can be happy only by loving Krishna. Now, when I joined this Krishna consciousness movement at the age of 23, my basic intention was, I just want to live a happy life. That's it. That's all I want out of life. Just want to be happy. So when Prabhupada instructed me, if you love Krishna, he's telling me, this is how you will be happy. By loving Krishna. Now there is another Sanskrit phrase, Rasovaisa. Prabhupada writes, Krishna can perfectly reciprocate one's loving propensities in different relationships called mellows or rasas. Basically, there are 12 loving relationships. One can love Krishna as the supreme unknown, Shanta. One can love Krishna as the supreme master, Dasya. One can love Krishna as the supreme friend, Sakya. One can love Krishna as the supreme child, Vatsalya. And one can love Krishna as the supreme lover, Sringar. These are the 5 basic love rasas. I'm going to go on a little tangent here. In my years of preaching, sometimes I would be invited to Cal State University. And there was one professor, Professor Wilson. She was teaching some kind of religious course there in Cal State, LA. And so every year she would invite me and some other devotees to speak to her class. So she was quite aware, after so many years of going, she started to pick up on some of the stuff we were presenting. And she particularly liked this concept of rasa. She liked that. So one time I gave a talk to her class about how there are, what Prabhupada said here, different relationships with God. The atheist, of course, does not want to have a relationship with God because the atheist thinks, oh, that is some figment of the imagination of useless men. Many people think, oh, there's no such thing as God. Ha, bah, humbug, they say. I've met many of those people. I'm sure you have met. You even mentioned the word God. They don't want to hear anything about that word. So they don't want a relationship with God. Other people want a relationship with God as Father. Most religions have that conception of God the Father. Hinduism also has the conception of God the Father, but many people, they have the conception of the God as the Mother, Durga Mata. That is their conception of God. That is their, conception. Or they may see Lord Shiva as the Father. So you can have that, and then Prabhupada mentioned now these others, where you can have a neutral relationship and you're just worshiping and loving God because He's just awesome, far out, wonderful. Oh, like we say, oh my God. We say that when something wonderful happens or shocking happens. Oh my God. Yes. So Shantaras is, unbelievable. God is so awesome. And then Dasya, servant, Hanumanji. Perfect example. He was offered any benediction, but he said, no, dasosmi. I simply want to be your servant, Ram. I don't need anything. Prahlad Maharaj also had the same rasa that he was offered by Lord Nrsimha after Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad's father, tried to kill him time after time after time after time. Ultimately, Nrsimha Bhagavan came and killed and then said, Prahlad, you suffered so much because you believed in me, because you worshiped me, and your father hated me. So I must give you a benediction. Prahlad said, no. You are my master. I am your servant. There's no need for anything else. But Nrsimha insisted, no, you take a benediction. So Prahlad, being pure bhakta, okay, excuse my father. Don't send him to Narakaloka, to hell, Patala. Deliver him instead. Just see the beautiful consciousness of a bhakta. Then Sakya, friend. If Arjuna is not Krishna's friend, how Krishna would drive Arjuna's chariot? Krishna didn't drive Duryodhana's chariot. He drove Arjuna's chariot. Why? Sakya, friendship. And in Vrindavan, Krishna has so many cowherd friends. Madhu Mangala, Subal, Vishal, so many cowherd boyfriends. And they deal with Krishna like equals. They play, they wrestle, they steal each other's lunch box. They play together. And they play tricks on Krishna. They don't see Krishna, oh Krishna, Om Namo. No, they're playing with him. And then Vatsalya, Devaki, Vasudev, and on a higher platform, Yashoda, Nanda, or in Ram Loka, Kaushalya, right? Ram's mother. So there's that relationship. Then comes Sringar, as it says, the supreme lover, which falls into two categories, Swakiya, Parakiya. The Swakiya, all the Lakshmis and Narayan, they are properly situated as husband and wife eternally. And the queens of Dwaraka, because we read in the Bhagavatam that Krishna only married 16,108 queens. That's all. Some of you are saying, why are you saying? Because I began by saying Krishna is unlimited. So even he has 16 trillion, drop in the bucket. So when he came, 16,108 queens. Again, Vairagya, detachment. Ram, oh, that's another example of detachment. Ram, he was approached by sages in the Dandakarana. And these sages knew about these topics that I've been talking about, these rasas. So these sages, they approached Ramachandra in the forest and said, we are well aware of who you are. You are pretending to be some prince, but we know who you are because we have studied the Vedas. We know that you are Bhagavan. We wish to have a Sringar with you. But what did Ram say? No. In this avatar, Eka Patni Vrata. Only one wife. But when I appear in the future as Krishna, you will join me. And so those sages, they were also promoted. Prabhupada uses that word, promoted, to the position of gopis and danced with Krishna that night, along so many other gopis, the eternal associates. So that gives you some food for thought. Can I also become one of those gopi janas? And Prabhupada says, yes. That is exactly the purpose of this International Society for Krishna Consciousness. If you want me to show you, I'll show you. I have the recording of his actual voice saying that the goal of this Krishna consciousness is to become one of the Gopi Janas. Sign me up. Anybody else? Yes, very good, Rasik Bhai. Yeah, you have the best name, Rasik Bhai. Rasika Bhakta, very good. Yes. You can get promoted. Just like in your case, you became promoted to temple president. May you do well. Hare Krishna. So you get promoted. These young children, first grade, second grade, third grade, I don't know if they still do that, but I don't know the system now. It's been years. But when I was first grade, second grade, third grade, so you get promoted if you pass all the exams. I knew in my grade school, one boy did not get promoted. He cried and he cried and he cried. They announced it in the class. It was like, ooh, how cruel. That's the kind of school I went to. Nuns, Catholic school. And if you misbehaved, the ruler on the knuckles.
They did in India also.
So, yeah?
They did in India.
So I guess it's off.
Long time ago, but not now.
Oh, now they don't do?
Now they don't. Just like here.
So we have the queens, and then also Parakiya, Krishna's girlfriends, the gopis, and RadhaRaman. They are not husband and wife, they are boyfriend, girlfriend. So these are the 5 basic love relationships. You are open, can pursue whichever one attracts you. Prabhupada says there are also 7 indirect relationships. They're temporary. For instance, Raudra, anger. Even in relationship with Krishna, sometimes anger can arise. Adbhuta, wonder. When Arjuna saw the universal form, he became bewildered in wonder. Hasya, comedy. Yes, with the cowherd boys and during the pastimes of Radha and the gopis, there is also comedy. Vira, chivalry. We see Krishna in Dwaraka killing so many formidable demons, even in Vrindavan as a little boy. One demon after the other, Krishna is showing. And then Daya, mercy. So many pastimes where Krishna shows his mercy. Bhayanaka, horror. And Bibhatsa, shock. Yes, shock when Krishna was battling Shalva, and Shalva had mystic powers he had achieved from Lord Shiva. He had gotten a special airplane that could disappear and appear and be in the sky, in the land, in the water. Such a powerful weapon. So this Shalva was fighting Krishna, and he produced someone that looked like Krishna's father, Vasudeva. And Shalva said, "Now look, Krishna, here is your father. Now watch me kill him." And so Shalva cut off the false Vasudeva. And momentarily Krishna was in shock. How could this? Just for a second. Then Krishna said, no, wait. Krishna could realize it was a mystic jugglery. Then Krishna got really angry and he killed that Shalva. So these 7 rasas, temporary, they appear, but the basic rasa always is there. So Prabhupada continues, all in all, however, if one simply reposes his or her dormant loving propensity in Krishna, then one's life becomes successful. This is not fiction, it is a fact which can be realized by practical application. One can directly perceive the effects that love for Krishna has on his or her life. And this concept to me is very, very significant. Very, very significant. Let me first go to one of the most important verses in all the 700 shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. One of the top 10, I would consider. Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitram Idam Uttamam, Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam, Susukum Kartam Avyayam. So this is the word, Pratyakshaavagamam. This to me answers all questions. Now, when I told you I joined the Hare Krishna movement at the age of 23, I had been 5 years a hippie, pursuing my music career and getting nowhere fast. So, sometime in February of 1973, I decided I would give this life to Prabhupada and Krishna. It was a gamble. It was a gamble. But I said, anything's a gamble. So I'll do this gamble. So this word, pratyakshaavagamam. How to best explain this word? After the arti, what are we going to do? Honor prasad. Right? Now, somebody likes dal, somebody likes pakodi, Somebody likes somos, right? We all have different tastes. We all have different tastes, right? And you go by the servers. I'll take, not so much. Give me a little. That I'll take more of. That's just the way it is. So you're eating and eating, but I don't know when you are full. I don't know how it tastes to you. I know what I'm experiencing. I know because I've eaten in thousands of Indian homes all over the world these past 30 years. Thousands. And in every instant, what happens? I'm taking, and then all of a sudden, more is put on the plate. More is, so I have to go like this. No. Boss, finish. No more. The host doesn't know. The host's job is give Prabhuji more. The more Prabhuji eats, we get more benefit. Am I right? Yeah. I know. What's that commercial? I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. So the host doesn't know, but I know. Oh no, not. I already had 10 gulab jamans. No more. Right? That's pratyakshavangamam. You know in yourself what is the experience. You don't need somebody's certificate or electoral vote or revote and recount 10,000 times and still get the same result. Stupid. Rascals. The vote is over. Sheesh. But you know yourself. You know yourself. That's pratyakshavangamam. When you join the Krishna Consciousness movement, you take a vow to chant on your mala, the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 108 times 16. That's 1,728 Hare Krishna mantras every day without fail, minimum. Now, trust me, if I didn't get pratyakshavangamam, if I didn't get some benefit, trust me, I would have stopped after 2 days. That's just the way I am. For me to be chanting now, I started in 1973, you do the math. Why I have not given up this mala? Am I brainwashed? Do I sound brainwashed to you? So the point is, I have realization. I have taste. I have seen what this holy name of Krishna can do. It has saved me time and time and time and time again. My favorite story, when I was a brand new devotee, I was in New York. We were on the subways, distributing books, collecting donations. I was with another God brother, and one person, they either put a gun or a knife in my back. Give me all your money. So I turned to my God brother. I said, what do we do now? And he said, chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I screamed it out. The guy ran away. And I said to him, this mantra really works. Yes. That's just one story. So many stories I have that I've seen how what Prabhupada says, develop your dormant love for Krishna and you will be peaceful and happy. Yes. Just like I'm eating, like I love patra. Patra I like. I also like, now I'm not giving any hints, I'm just saying. I also like The Gujaratis, they make this kandvi. All right? Too good to be true. Right? There's some taste there. Or like when I first joined the first time, I had a samosa. Cooked in ghee. Oh, I said, oh my God, what is this? They said, it is samosa. You get a taste. So the same way, if you follow Krishna's instructions, and if you follow this chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you will get a taste for this name. One time, Srila Prabhupada was asked by the great Beatle, John Lennon, and he was asked some question, and Prabhupada said something to the effect, yes. Oh yes, the question was, how do you know who is the guru? Because that was big in the mid-60s, the guru. So John Lennon was trying to be smart. So, how do I know who's the real guru? Prabhupada said, find that person most addicted to Krishna. Because at the time, John Lennon was addicted to drugs. So Prabhupada was very clever, yes. Because Prabhupada was staying with him in his new mansion in 1969. He saw what was going on. He saw. It's not that Prabhupada was blind. So he said, yes, find that person most addicted to Krishna. And we have as our example Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was so much addicted to Krishna. He said, Kirtaniya Sada Hari.